Hello and welcome to this review of the beautiful, hopefully you can see, Vauxhall Astra behind me. I say beautiful, but it's a bit mucky and it's not a good start for a professional video review, is it? So hang on a minute, I'll be right back. Getting a mini valet. About time. Well, just over an hour and an act of remembrance later, and we're back, and it's cleaner. I didn't clean it, I paid some delightful young gentlemen to clean it, and they have. It could probably do with a machine polish or something like that, because it's a bit rough and ready. But let's have a quick look. What is it? What is this? This is a Vauxhall Astra Model J. For what that's worth, it's on a 62 plate. It's got the original dealer plate on the front, but not on the back. And it's a 1.4 litre SRI, not the turbo, sadly. It could do with a turbo, to be honest. It's a bit lacking, a bit lackluster. So should we have a look around it? So here we go. There it is at the front. Not too bad, really. Funny thing about this car, in my opinion, was that it's not a bad looking car, given its age and what kind of thing it is, just a blobby Euro box, but it's not a bad looking one, I didn't think. Kind of anonymous, but not boring, not too boring. Not particularly sporty looking, not too fancy looking. It's got its chrome bits. I think you're supposed to find that kind of fancy, but looks alright. It's an SRI, sort of mid-spec, and it's weird spec, if you ask me, in some ways. We'll get to that. There's its wheels. It's on 17-inch wheels, which I think look alright. Anything bigger on this would look a bit daft. It's not a VXR. They come with massive wheels, which actually look quite good. Go around the back. It's a little bit blobby at the back, I suppose, but it's all right from a distance. The paintwork's not too bad. It's 14 years old. There's a couple of scuffs and scrapes and bangs and dings, but not too bad. And there it is. This is obviously 5 doors. They did do a 3-door, as they have done for up until this model, and then that was it. They stopped. They got a bit weird after this model, but they didn't. It's not called an Astra, the 3-door. It's an Astra GTC. Why they felt they had to give it an acronym, I don't know. And what does GTC mean? I don't know. Let you make your own mind up. And that's the outside. Shall we take a look at the inside? There's not really a lot more to say. It's got 5 doors, it's got 4 wheels. It's got some lights, it's got some wing mirrors. Job done. So in the back, but what more can I tell you? This is where the spec gets a bit weird. Winding windows. Like I say, it's a 12-year-old car, but at the time that this car was purchased by somebody else, I purchased a brand new Nissan Juke, which was probably about the same price, same sort of mid-spec, and it had electric rear windows. This has keep fit windows. Wind them yourself, and they do have a propensity to slip every now and then. I have to check that they're up, otherwise when you get it washed like I have just, water comes in. What else is there in the back? Not a lot. 2 head restraints, not 3, but there are 3 belts. There are Isofix points for 2 kiddie seats. Not a lot of room for more than that. I don't think you'd get anyone else in. And I always find cars like this, absolutely, getting in and out the back, it's a family car, but trying to get in and out the back if you're a little bit stiff, can sometimes be a little bit difficult, because for some reason, family cars, the back doors are always smaller than the front. And so it's kind of harder to get in and out. Yeah, and that's where old people and children are getting in and out. Weird. Let's have a look in the front then. Again, this is a place where the spec gets a little strange. Front electric windows. There's your switches over there somewhere. There's nothing automatic in this car. The lights are here, and you've got front and rear fogs, but they're not automatic. You can switch off your passenger airbag here if you want. I guess that's for if you're putting baby seats in. I'm never really sure why you would do that. Should we climb in and have a closer look? What else can we say about the inside of here? I should probably put the key in and light up the dashboard for you. It does light up. Luckily, it's not knackered in that sense, but it's there's a little touch there, you see, of your mood lighting. Fabulous, not too intrusive, and lots of buttons. This was of its age back in the day, and I think Vauxhall and Ford dragged on with this a bit longer than a lot of other people, but there's a lot of buttons. I don't mind it. I don't really use a lot of them, but of course there's no touchscreen, so you've got to do everything you've got to do somehow. Manual aircon, which does work. It's just a button and your twiddly knobs and your settings, and there's your recycling thing. One USB port, 12-volt socket and an auxiliary in. And down here, not one, not two, but 3 cup holders and a spare stinky thing from the car wash people. They've stuck one up there. And what are we advertising? Dandy's Landscape Supply Centre. There you go, for all your topsoil needs. Not a lot else to say about the front. There's a glove box which is big enough for your book and your lock and wheel nut. That is it. Pretty much standard. Some little door pockets which actually are quite big, and they go behind the armrest, so not bad. This car, everything works. I switch it on. Let me get closer. I have to get closer. I'm gonna shuffle. Right. This is why you come here. It's for the professionalism. Here we go. See that engine light? All the lights have gone off by the engine light. Turn it on. Let the lights clear. And they do, except for that engine light. It's gonna stay. I don't know why. And can you hear that noise? It's like there's an elastic band trapped somewhere. So it needs to get service. We'll see what they have to say. But see, no broken pixels or any of that. Everything working order. Not bad, really. So that's the inside. There's nothing else to really say apart from there's a boot and you can get in it. It's big enough to hold a full-grown human. Do you want to see? A lot of stuff in it in a minute. Let me get that out and I'll show you how it fits a full-grown human. Mysteriously, the engine management light has now gone out. No worries there then. Well, there's the boot. I've just realised that as I don't have a helper with me, I'm pretty much going to have to get myself in the boot to prove the point. But that's not going to work, is it? That's not going to be a visual treat. So we might wait. I'll show you that after. Maybe I'll splice something in to show you my glamorous assistant getting in and out of the boot. If you've seen my other reviews, you'll have seen I have a glamorous assistant that likes to get in and out of the boot. Anyway, shall we take it on the road and listen to the noise it makes and have a wee chat? And I might even try and take it somewhere special that it's not been for 14 years since it was built. Let's go have a look. Right, here we go. My glamorous assistant is going to demonstrate the size of the boot. The boot's got a load of junk in it now, which it didn't before. But in you get, go on. And there we have it. We're demonstrating you can get one full-grown human in the boot of this car. Ta-da! Sorry for the builders. Anyway, Comfy?
Yeah.
Think you could travel to Scotland in that?
Yeah, but I don't have to.
Let's go. So maybe you can hear the ridiculous noise that the engine's making. Luckily you can't smell the smell of the stuff. I should have taken that out of the way, it's really annoying. Away we go, out of the park and ride. See how we get on. It's not fast, this car. Round town, it's perfectly fine. But it's got no real pickup. It's a fat car. You know, it weighs over a ton and a half. And the engine is about 100, there's about 100 brake horsepower, thereabouts. It's not really enough, is it? For a car this heavy. So when I want to do things like that, put my foot flat to the floor, nothing happens. There we go. 40 miles an hour. And it's a 50 zone, so don't worry, I'm not breaking any speed limits. Wouldn't take the skin off a rice pudding, this. Or is it a custard? Answers on a postcard. Anyway, we'll head up this road and we'll have a think about it. So what I like about this car, despite its distinct lack of power, which we will now feel as I go 0 to 50 away from these traffic lights, go! Try not to spin my wheels. That'd be embarrassing, wouldn't it? There's no girls looking, so there's no point. That's 40. 50. Not exactly breathtaking. Not going to scare the pants off of any old people that are probably the target market for this car. But it is a little bit annoying if you need to get past someone because you can't. You just have to sit there. Which is a shame, really, because the car itself feels like it could definitely handle a lot more power. The suspension's good, it holds the road well. It's not overly stiff, but it's not floppy. It doesn't bounce about. It doesn't wobble around. It's quite nice. Feels quite sporty. Steering wheel feels nice in the hand. Seats are nice. No sliding around corners in your chair. It's all very good. The problem is the engine. It's just got no guts. It's a bit weak. And of course with this one, I have an engine management light on for reasons unknown, and it makes that weird noise. In fact, it makes a lot of weird noises. When I bought it, I've had this for 2 years now, there's always been a noise, a sound like there's a bearing isn't happy somewhere, whether it's a water pump or it's something to do with the power steering or something, I don't know. Who knows? Not me. But now it's been added to by this sort of whine, which I have no idea what that is either. I'm gonna smoke this BMW for some reason, sitting about. But yeah, it's a perfectly nice car to cruise around in. Takes me up and down the motorway all the time. Oh, look at that. I do quite a lot of miles in this car. In the 2 years I've had it, I've done 20,000 miles pretty much. And it's done them well. No faults at all. A couple of little foibles, but no real faults. Foible number one, outside of the engine management light and the noisy noise, is it does not like to idle. If you sit for very long, that set of lights doesn't like it. Again, don't know why. It will sit and then it will start going and then a light will come on to tell me I need to service the ESP. and that will stay on until I start the car again. But there's nothing wrong with the ESP, nothing at all. The only other thing that happens, it hasn't happened for a few days, touch wood, is that occasionally, particularly when it's cold, it will tell me I have no coolant. And I do have lots. So I don't know what its problem is there. But it's not happy. Once, I think there's a fault that happens on these cars. There's a sensor in the coolant bucket. And it's, I guess, not sensing properly anymore. But yeah, here we are. Quite happy. It's quite nice to drive around in. I quite like it. Yeah, a little bit more power would be nice, but you don't really need it. You just have to learn patience. Like a young Jedi. So let's see if we can find this place that I want to find. And if we do, we'll maybe take a couple of photos. Because I don't think there's much else to say, really. What do you want to know? It's a car. It does 70 miles an hour, which is the legal limit in this country on a motorway. It will do all of the speeds from 0 to 70 and in between. It doesn't get there terribly quickly, but it's perfectly comfortable, perfectly nice. A couple of little gremlins, nothing much to worry about, and all for the price of not very much. You're buying one of these, it's cheaper than buying a Citroen Ami. And while your 16-year-old could drive the Citroen Ami and not this, why would you want to have a Citroen Ami? I guess you could plug it in. I guess that's another thing that's worth telling you about. The how frugal is it? It's quite frugal, actually, because this is a petrol. It's a Euro 4. There's a lady there swearing at me because she wanted to come onto the roundabout. And I was in her way, it seemed. Anyway, where was I? Yes, it's quite frugal. I've averaged in this over the 2 years that I've had it around 43 miles to the gallon. And that's unleaded, not diesel, so that's cheaper than diesel. I do quite a lot of short journeys in it, so you know, better to have a petrol than a diesel for that. 43 miles per gallon is not too shabby. It's Euro 4, so it's compliant with most low emission zones, I believe. What more do you need? You don't need one of those super expensive electric cars, that's for sure. And some would argue that it's actually greener buying one of these, keeping it on the road. Anyway, let's take it on a motorway and see what happens. Right, we're doing 30 miles an hour in third gear. Let's floor it. Let's join this motorway. Come on, get up to motorway speeds yet. That's 50. Mind you, this person in front of me is not going to let me get up to 70, are they? Let's go. 60. 70. There you go, it's alright, isn't it? Well, 69 according to the speedo, that'll do. Got cruise control. I've got lots of buttons on the dashboard, on the steering wheel, which I didn't really talk about earlier. Lots of buttons. On the left hand side is all the cruise control. On the right hand side is a little scrolly button for selecting things, whether that's flipping through tracks on your music or wherever. Volume up and down button. And there's a couple of buttons that are actually for the hands-free, Bluetooth hands-free, which this car does not have. So I was duped by that when I bought the car. I didn't realise it didn't have Bluetooth. You can still find second-hand Bluetooth kits to plug into the back, you know, the official Vauxhall ones. I haven't done that because there would still be a problem in that there's no microphone anywhere, so that would be useless. Don't bother with that. And actually it's kind of weirdly liberating being old school and not speaking to anyone on the phone while I'm driving. Just concentrate on driving. or talking to you. Same difference, I suppose. Now then, I don't actually know which junction I need for where I want to go. Let's see. Oh, someone's following me. I wonder if they know where they're going. Because I certainly don't. No, this isn't the right one. Ah. Gosh darn it, I don't think this is the right one. Let's see. Town centre? What town are we going to? Oh, it might be actually. Oh, it is. Oh, look at that. Check it. Well, you can't see anything. It's all Vauxhall Motor. No. Am I allowed down here? Am I allowed? Well, there's no barrier. There's no barrier. Let's see if we can go up here. Well, would you looky here? There's a barrier there. That's not where I'm going though, is it? Can you tell what it is yet? It's a factory. I don't know what you can see. You might not be able to see anything, might you? We're dealing with these speed bumps, quite the thing. Oh, they're a bit harsh actually, these speed bumps. It's like just a ridge of concrete on the road. Making my moves jiggle. This is what you came here for, isn't it? The suspense. What does this say? Beware cycles crossing, stop, caution, cycle track crosses main road. Right, okay. I don't think the site stops for me. I think it's for bicyclists. This feels quite naughty, but I don't know if it is. There's nobody stopping me. There we go, look at that. There we go. Check it out. Right, we're here. I'm going to do the grand reveal now. You might see this as I go past. Let's see. God, they could do with resurfacing this car park, let me tell you. Oh, that's sad. We'll talk about that in a second. But there you go. There's the grand reveal. Can you see that? Can you see what it is yet? Well, we'll pull up and we'll have a quick chat about what that sign says. So here we are, the end of the video. We've brought the car back to its spiritual home here at Ellesmere Port, where it was built, and that sign used to say home of the Astra, because this is where Astras were built and sent out around the world. Not now though. Vauxhall's no longer part of General Motors, it's part of Stellantis. And here they make electric Berlingos and such. So there's actually quite a few Citroens and Peugeots in the car park, because I assume the people that work here get money off. Not as many Vauxhalls as there would have once been. But there we go, Vauxhall Astra. Once the king of the road in Britain, one-time best-selling car, now kind of relatively obscure and not that many of them. I see quite a lot of them because I drive one and I'm kind of looking out for them, but not as many as there used to be. Everyone wants to drive an SUV nowadays, and I think they're idiots because that's great. So thanks for watching. Give us a thumbs up, a like, a comment, a follow, all those things. And I'll see you in the next car review. Thanks very much.